wonderful story lovers, and welcome. Today, we're journeying to a truly magical place, a land so bright and cheerful it was called the City of Colors. Imagine houses painted with the most beautiful patterns, trees that sparkled with gentle lights, and rivers that glowed softly as night fell. In this city, everyone felt joyful and full of hope. But the city's real magic came from three young heroes known as the Guardians of Light: Lumi, Rio, and Maro. Lumi had the incredible power to control light. Rio could soar through the sky, faster than the wind itself. And Maro, he had a special gift: he could speak to animals and understand the secrets of their hearts. Though they were heroes, they were also just like any other children, full of play, laughter, and learning. But they were always watchful, always ready to protect their home. One beautiful, sunny morning, something strange began to unfold. The sky, usually a brilliant blue, started to fade into a dull, lifeless gray. The vibrant, colorful buildings lost their shine, and the flowers in the gardens drooped their heads as if they were overcome with sadness. A wave of weariness washed over the people, and the city's signature sparkle began to disappear. Lumi, Rio, and Maro felt the change instantly. They knew this was no ordinary cloudy day. Something was draining the color and joy from their world. The three friends quickly gathered at their secret hideout, a magnificent crystal tower perched on a hill that overlooked the entire city. Rio gazed out the window, his face filled with worry. "The city is losing its colors and its happiness," he said, his voice quiet. Lumi closed her eyes, trying to sense the light around her. "Something dark is moving here," she whispered, a shiver running down her spine. Maro, who had been listening intently, suddenly spoke up. "The birds. They told me that a mysterious shadow has been seen near the Forest of Echoes." The Guardians knew what they had to do. Without a moment's hesitation, they prepared for their mission. Lumi raised her staff, which began to glow with a determined light. Rio spread his powerful wings, ready for flight, and Maro called upon a small, clever fox to guide them on their path. Together, they set off, traveling through fields where the flowers were fading before their very eyes, and past rivers whose gentle glow was dimming with each passing moment. The closer they got to the Forest of Echoes, the darker and quieter everything became, as if the very air was holding its breath. Deep within the heart of the forest, they found it: a large, swirling shadow hovering near an ancient, moss-covered stone. It was a formless, cold, and empty darkness, without a face or a body. A slow, chilling voice echoed from the shadow. "I am Gloom, the keeper of gray," it said. "I feed on sadness, on silence, and on forgotten joy. Your city has been too bright for too long. I will take its colors and make it quiet forever." Lumi, full of courage, stepped forward. "We won't let you," she declared. She lifted her hands, and brilliant beams of golden light shot towards the shadow. But Gloom simply swallowed the light, as if it were nothing. "Light is weak when there is no hope," Gloom's calm voice echoed. Rio then rushed forward, flying at incredible speeds, trying to break the shadow apart with his powerful momentum. But the harder he tried, the slower and heavier he became. Maro called for help, and birds, squirrels, and foxes answered his call. But they were terrified of the encroaching darkness and quickly scattered to hide. The Guardians were starting to feel hopeless. They realized that Gloom couldn't be defeated by force alone. It was then that Lumi remembered a lesson from their wise old teacher: light grows strongest when it is shared. Hope lives when it is felt together. She looked at her friends, a new idea sparking in her eyes. "We must remember what makes our city so bright: our joy, our friendship." Rio nodded, understanding. Maro gently placed his hand on the little fox beside him and whispered, "We are not alone." They joined hands, forming a small circle, and closed their eyes. Lumi focused her thoughts on every happy memory, every shared laugh she'd ever had. Rio remembered the feeling of the wind beneath his wings, the pure freedom of soaring through the open sky. Maro recalled the beautiful songs of the animals and the deep trust they shared with him. Slowly, a warmth began to build in their hearts. This warmth blossomed into light, not just Lumi's light, but a new light, born from all three of them and from everything they loved and cherished. This light burst outward. It wasn't harsh or aggressive. It was gentle, warm, and full of life. It didn't attack the shadow of gloom. Instead, it surrounded it, embracing it with its warmth. As the light touched it, gloom began to shrink, not from pain, but from a new feeling of understanding. I was lonely, the shadow whispered, its voice now small and soft. I just wanted others to feel what I felt. Lumi stepped closer, her smile kind and gentle. You don't have to be alone, she said. There is room for every color in the world, even gray. But not if it takes away happiness from others. Slowly, Gloom's shadowy form transformed into a small, quiet cloud. At that very moment, the city of colors began to glow again. The flowers lifted their petals high, the sky returned to its brilliant blue, and the sound of laughter once again filled the streets. The animals came out of hiding and began to sing their joyful songs. Lumi, Rio, and Mara led the small cloud, Gloom, back to the city. They found him a new home, a quiet little place where he could exist without harming anyone. Now, sometimes, when the city needed a moment of calm and peace, Gloom would help create gentle, overcast evenings and soft, fluffy clouds. And so, the Guardians of Light continued to protect their city, not just by fighting darkness, but by sharing joy, kindness, and hope with everyone they met. Because they had learned the most important lesson of all, every light shines brighter when it is shared with others. Thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful adventure. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more tales of courage and kindness. We'll see you next time.